pour yourself a pint, cozy up, and get ready for another episode of Beer, Bros, and BS.
Hey, this is Trish Stratus, and you're listening to Beer, Bros, and BS. Keep listening, because it's pretty satisfying.
Welcome to another special episode of Beer, Bros, and BS at the Brewery Series, coming to you live from Concrete Beach Brewing.
That's how many in a row now?
It's 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Three in a row.
Unprecedented.
I'm Dave, the Big Librarian.
Alex, the King of Alapata.
Tony, the craft beer gooner.
JJ, the metal chef.
And tonight we're joined by from the brewery by...
Eric Hernandez, the head brewer of Concrete Beach Brewery.
So is this our first head brewer? Matt?
No, we had Matt. Yeah.
He's the head brewer or just
Yeah,
brewer?
he's the master brewer and founder.
So we've had back-to-back... and
Juan?
Yeah. And Juan. Juan's also master brewer.
So
and founder.
back-to-back head brewers. Okay. So you haven't been on the show before. I don't know if you've listened to us, if you heard us in any
Welcome
previous
to the show,
episode.
by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
We got to get to know you. So I'm going to ask you 4 questions. They're hard-hitting questions. They're going to show who you really are, what your soul is like. It's going to reveal you to us and our listeners. If you feel uncomfortable answering these questions, just say pass.
Sure. Yeah.
So the first question is, if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, man, that's hard. That's a hard one. I'm going to go with teleportation.
Yes.
Back to
Yeah.
back.
That's another one for teleportation.
Yeah.
Okay. So who'd win in a fight? All-out battle. They had, a week to prepare.
Uh-huh.
Iron Man or Captain America? One to the death.
They had all time to prepare?
1 week.
Oh, Iron Man. Yeah.
Another one.
It's only the weirdos who say Captain America.
Drastically different last week.
So what's your
He has
favorite?
that fighting spirit.
What's your favorite style of beer?
My favorite style of beer? I like all beers. Yeah, they're all my favorite. No, I'm kidding. No, I really enjoy Pilsners. I think that I have a Pilsner. I love Pilsners. I will have, if it's on tap and it's fresh, it's my favorite thing to drink.
Well, Paulie's got a friend now.
Oh, yeah.
So if you were stuck on a deserted island for 1 year, you had proper provisions and food and supplies, you had proper refrigeration and glassware, what would be the one beer you would have with you that's not from your brewery that you make?
Oh, it's a beer that I have every time I go back home. It's Racer 5 from Bear Republic.
Okay.
It doesn't make it down here that often.
Yeah, it's an IPA.
But yeah, it's an IPA, but that beer was the beer that kind of kicked me into high gear about being a brewer and really enjoying beer. And now things have leveled out where I'm like, okay, now I just like Pilsners, but those are really nice to drink a few of. But before, back in the day when I was younger, it was Racer 5 all the way.
Okay, awesome.
West Coast.
So let's get started. What's the first beer that we're going to have tonight?
First beer that we're going to have is our flagship beer. It's the one you guys have probably seen the most of from us. It's Havana Lager. This is a Vienna-style lager. We brew it in our own lagering tanks. You can't see it on the podcast, but we have them right behind us, right here.
Care to describe a lagering tank?
Yes. So what a lagering tank is, and if you see it in a brewery, it's a brewery that looks like it's been turned. It's a tank that looks like it's been turned on its side. It's a horizontal tank, and it allows in the maturation process of lagers to you get the most bang for your time. Because what happens is that it makes the beer horizontal. That way there's less room for the yeast to drop. That means the yeast will stay in suspension for just as long. But then when they're done, they drop faster. It makes a really nice, clean lager. And while they're in suspension, they're cleaning up off flavors. They're cleaning up any sort of, any sort of weird sulfur things that lager yeast likes to get in there. They're really creating nice, clean, crisp lagers. And that's what kind of sets these beers apart in the world of brewing, is why lagers are the most popular beer that everybody will drink.
So in comparison to your typical conical fermentation vessel, this has increased surface space for the yeast to drop out.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
So let me ask you guys, would you...
It's really good.
I dig the lager. 'Cause, I'm not a big lager guy, but I do like the kind of the smooth maltiness of this.
Yeah, so this is it's a Vienna style lager, so it's a little bit. So we base this beer kind of off of the old Prohibition beers that are from not just America, but also they were all very popular in South and Central and the Caribbean America, South and Central America and the Caribbeans. Back when there was a big German immigration out of Europe, they brought their beers with them, and this was one of the beers that became very popular around that time in South America. Was these styles of kind of maltier, lagers, and we kind of tried to bring that back with Havana Lager, and that's what we did. And not to toot our own home, but we won a World Beer Cup bronze medal for it. And so,
congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Very nice.
Yeah, perfect for tailgating as football season approaches.
And it's going to be on a tap at Dolphin Stadium, too.
There we go. See, look at that segue. Using our mind powers.
There we go.
It's also available in package, right?
We do 6-packs. They're in Publix, Whole Foods, Winn-Dixie's, 6-pack cans, 12 ounces. And certain retailers will give 16-ounce cans. They're a little rarer, but the most common you'll see is 12-ounce cans.
Cool.
And I put a picture of the tank for everyone to see.
We'll retweet it.
Yeah.
And put it on Twitter.
Yeah, and Instagram.
We'll share it.
Well, my personal
These
one.
social medias.
We'll share it on the social medias. So let me ask you guys: would you rather be a fly on the wall for anyone you can think of for 10 minutes a day, or be able to rewind time for a total of 10 minutes a day? So
Say the first one again?
So you can be a fly on the wall and watch anybody you want for 10 minutes a day, or you can just rewind 10 minutes once a day
Every day for the rest of our lives.
if you wanted to.
Pretty cool. Can I record those fly on the wall moments?
Only with your memory.
You're a fly.
All right, then I'll go with the rewind time.
Yeah, I think I'd rewind time as well. So if I die, can I still rewind time like in a video game? And
You have to do it the moment before
and
you
make
die.
a different choice.
Yeah, you have to do it in the moment, but you still have to be alive.
Yeah, like the knife has to pierce your heart, and you gotta rewind that shit right now. Here we go.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But you can't change it because then it's going to play out the same way. It's like watching
you can't change it.
It's a VHS tape. You can rewind it,
Oh, I
and
can't,
you hit
like,
play
What's the
again.
point of going back 10 minutes?
Yeah, I
guess
can't.
to relive
I
good
can't make a
moments? Is that it?
different choice in those 10 seconds or 10 minutes, whatever. Is it 10 seconds or 10 minutes?
Then
10
I'll
minutes.
be a fly spy.
It's like a VHS. Just rewind it and go forward.
Eric?
Oh, if that's the case, then the fly on the
then
wall.
I take the fly.
Yeah, I could
Oh,
do
yeah,
more
yeah.
with that information than
Yeah.
with just reliving things.
Yeah, there's a lot of spying going on right now. So
Fly spies.
Would you rather be completely hairless
No.
or constantly have a mild aroma like you just stepped in dog shit?
Yeah, I'd be hairless.
yeah, I'm practically almost there.
Says you said it's a bald guy.
yeah.
Any other?
No, but the problem is, like, I don't grow hair on my head, but it grows everywhere fucking else. It's the worst. Love to
TMI.
not have to deal with
Heard on the bottom of his feet.
Hairy palms, ladies and gentlemen. Hairy palms.
Listen, I have Hobbit in my ancestry, and
Look, the 23andMe.
I'm very sensitive.
He did the DNA test.
23andMe came back from the Shire.
New Zealand,
Would you rather know when the best day of your life is going to be or the worst?
The worst. Definitely the worst.
Why?
Because the best will still, then you'll get to be surprised by the best day in your life.
And then you have to live in constant.
No, but when your worst day is coming.
Yeah, and you have that on your mind all the time. This is a gift and a curse situation. Like both situations have something good to offer, but they also, there's a reason man doesn't know that they, isn't born with knowledge of the day he's gonna die.
Not yet.
Not yet. You guys ever been to that website that it's like, find out the day you die? I did that shit and I actually saved it in my phone, and every year I'm reminded. It's like, hey, you're gonna die on this day, in 2031. So.
2031.
Does it tell you
that's
how?
like fucking not too far away.
Yeah, well, fuck that website. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll be there.
Does it say how you're gonna die?
No, just that I'm very likely to die on that day.
All right then.
Shit, I don't want to go to this website now. What if I get like a fucking...
Comes back, you died 2 weeks ago.
So let me ask...
Then you're winning. Every day's a victory.
So wait, are you going to live your life expecting to die on that day, or
Well, I'm just hoping to wake up that day and then be like, piece of shit, and then delete it, and then die moments after.
If that website's still around, then that year we might be integrated one with
suck it
computers.
website?
I live forever.
Would you rather be forced to shower 8 times per day
Okay,
or only allowed to shower 1 time every 8 days?
1 time every 8 days?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'll do 8 little quick showers a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, eight a day. Yeah.
Oh my god! What if? All right. So what if I just chop up a shower? Like I do
Turn it off, then turn it back on.
Exactly.
Turn it off,
Yeah,
then
I'll
turn
just
it
do
back
like
on.
No.
2 minute showers.
No, that's not a shower.
Yeah,
You have
dry
to
off, I think.
dry off.
Yeah.
You have to dry off.
You have to dry off, and you have to get completely wet. Like, I'm just gonna wash my hair today, or I'm not gonna wash my hair.
Wash your balls today.
Yeah, they need a good scrubbing.
I got you, bro.
Who's got the Brillo pads?
Heard that here in Beer Bros and
So you
BS.
gotta-
Alex needs
I want
balls.
Brillo pads for my balls.
I'm just I'm like
your
wondering
birthday.
logistically, how do you fit in like 8 showers, right? Like
I mean, you'd have to take a bunch of them before you leave the house, and then another.
So you wake up, you take one,
You do like 4 in the morning, 4 at night.
have some coffee.
Yeah. See, we got one here too, so it'd be good. It'd be easy for me.
You can shower at work. Go shit.
Yeah.
I just have to get a job somewhere. Where
Well,
there's a
also,
shower.
what counts as a shower? You can go to the sink and just kind
Well, you gotta wet
Yeah.
your whole body. and
Yeah, you gotta wet your
dry
whole
of wet your
body.
whole body.
Yeah.
Just do a bunch of shower porn.
Yeah.
That's your new job.
Is there a market for that? I mean,
What isn't a category on Pornhub?
would you rather
Ladies man shower porn. I don't think that's a category.
give up breakfast foods or give up pizza?
Oh man, what about breakfast pizza? Does that get a pass?
You can pick one or the other. Is that really pizza though? They really
Yeah,
put
it can be.
pasta sauce?
Well, actually, look, I'm going to tell you the truth. I think that pizza is the most versatile piece of food on earth. It could be anything you want it to be. There's buffalo chicken pizza. There's chicken Alfredo pizza. There's
Philly cheesesteak.
Philly cheesesteak pizza. You pretty much can make a pizza out of anything.
Tell us, Bubba
Dessert-
Gump, how many?
You got shrimp pizza.
Nah, I'll take the pizza. I can skip breakfast. I usually skip it anyway.
But is breakfast pizza going to get a pass? If I do pizza,
No.
This is
No.
very,
I can't do breakfast pizza?
No.
Because it's breakfast
It's
food.
gone. It's one or the other.
Hold on. So then if I do breakfast food, do I get to keep breakfast pizza? Is that the only pizza I can have?
Yes,
I do
because
love
it's breakfast.
I love breakfast.
Now,
Are you guys all lawyers?
could you
Is
eat the
You
breakfast-
guys are all like.
could you eat the breakfast pizza for other meals?
Yes,
Okay.
I mean I love breakfast. All the different things you
I
can
do
have.
breakfast for dinner. I don't give a fuck. I'll eat that shit anytime. Pancakes.
I
eggs,
give
hash
up
browns?
pizza. Yeah, I love breakfast for dinner. That's my favorite meal of the day.
Bacon,
Yeah.
sausage.
You can still have fucking bacon, though.
I can't have bacon.
You can still have fucking bacon.
It's a breakfast food.
What if it's a bacon pizza?
No,
That's
Bro,
who.
bacon is a
No.
legit topping.
I'm the would you rather
Yeah,
captain.
and there's like bacon and other meals that are not
breakfast. It's
Bacon
breakfast
wrapped
food.
meatballs. That's a thing.
Sorry,
I
that's
couldn't have like a
breakfast.
bacon cheeseburger.
You couldn't have a filet mignon
Nope,
with
you
bacon.
couldn't have. Nope, not anymore.
All right, well, fuck that. I'm giving up pizza.
So then only breakfast sausage would be eliminated, but all other forms of sausage are a go.
In Germany, I've had white sausage for breakfast, so that can stay.
Okay.
It was in the breakfast,
I don't know. I think you're defining breakfast food very broadly.
as I'm allowed to do as I ask for questions.
and very inconsistently.
Would you rather have 4 legs that randomly start river dancing?
Are they attached to me?
Yes,
or
they
do
are.
I just have them in like a traveling suitcase and
No,
let
no.
them out whenever I want?
That would be awesome.
You have 4 legs. Would you rather have metal arms that dab every time someone speaks to you?
Metal arms.
Every time someone speaks to me?
What's up, JJ?
Fuck.
Oh man,
Metal
I
arms
think
are
you get
dope.
fired from everything. You wouldn't be able to. Yeah.
You think so? I think
feel
it might
like,
become
you know,
charming after a while.
Right.
Like, oh, here comes
Here comes God,
JJ
goddamn, here comes old Dabby.
JJ.
Like, yeah.
Oh, Dabby.
Yeah, but you got fucking metal arms. That's fucking dope. I'll take it. The positive outweighs the negative.
What if you end up though, like in that video where like the little kids are dabbing, and then the fifth one just kind of like sticks his hands like this?
Would you rather be able to fly 4 feet above the ground in a reclined position at a maximum speed of 12 miles per hour, or teleport anywhere in the world once every 2.5 weeks?
Oh, teleport.
Yeah,
Yeah,
teleporting.
that's
that's really
that's easy. 12 miles an hour.
Or fly all the time.
All the time.
No more, no less than 4 feet above the ground. Always supplying or recline. You said recline.
Recline.
Reclined.
So comfortable.
So you get to sleep.
I don't know.
No, you can't fly while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Who's,
Yeah, I know where you're going.
Who's controlling this flying?
Sleep
Am I
flying.
doing it? I'm doing
Yeah.
all the flying?
Feels like if you just walked above ground.
I want to have.
This is not 12 miles an
option.
hour. That's still pretty fast.
Every 2 weeks you can go anywhere you want, though. You know?
Yeah, but then you got to wait 2.5 weeks to get back.
To come back.
That's the
No,
that's
that's
the
50.
catch.
That's half off plane tickets.
I guess it's
That's-
Just do it.
I do that whenever you take long trips.
Yeah, right, Tony.
Welcome back, Tony.
Yeah, welcome back.
The only thing you'll miss is fucking them recording episodes at breweries without you.
Yeah, especially breweries that you were really looking forward to.
Would you rather be lonely as the last
Yes.
person in the world with no danger, no threat, and a lifetime supply of food and beer, or always be on the edge as one of many survivors in an apocalyptic wasteland with a dangerous death toll, but you're still around people?
Nah, fuck people.
Yeah, I take the first one. I don't like danger.
I won't last long.
it's probably easier to be lonely, right? Yeah. Are you guaranteed to survive, though?
Yeah,
Until
there's no
you
threat.
die of
Until
just,
whatever
old age.
normal
old age,
things. So
broken
you
heart.
will always survive, though. Yeah.
Get to watch the aliens take over the world.
And finally, our most
You can
serious.
always chat with like Siri and Alexa.
It's like that movie Her.
Yeah. And for our final question and our most serious question of the night,
Uh-oh. How many dicks?
would you rather have nipples that can shoot microwaves
Like
Or-
microwave ovens or microwaves? Okay.
or have cow udders that make chocolate milk?
And these cow udders, they would be on my belly?
Yes, that's usually where udders are.
Okay. I mean, I've seen them on the top of people's heads before. Wear fucking
Dude,
leather
I could
hats.
cook a hot pocket with my fucking nipples. I'm gonna fucking do that shit.
Yeah, I'll take the nipples because that way I won't look like a freak.
Yeah. Also, yeah. There's udders. Yeah, you have the udders. Like that's an issue. Like
Or a business opportunity.
or a business opportunity.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how much milk can I crank out? Just
Science will
Inappropriate
find a
amount.
way.
Yeah.
milk myself all day.
Don't you already do that?
Heyo.
So before we get into our next
Have
topic,
udders, JJ, can you milk me?
Moo.
why don't you tell us about our second beer of the night?
So the second beer, it's actually a kind of a cool time to actually come here because this month we actually released 2 new beers to our distributor and to the market. So actually these are beers you're going to be able to have on tap around Miami too.
Shout out to
So
Gold
it's
Coast.
been- right. And, and so it's usually, you try and do one at most a month. And now we just were like, screw it. We'll just do 2. So this is the first one that we released earlier this month. It's called Rosé Ale. And it's a beer. It's definitely a beer, but it is modeled after a real rosé wine. So I drank a ton of rosé wine, and we went through about 6 months of development on it. We had, a few that were terrible, a few that were great. One was a Merlot beer. We tried a lot of different kind of ingredients to make it right. And so I was finally able to get some Zinfandel juice from Napa. And so this is made with a lot of white Zinfandel juice and a touch of blueberry, and that gives it like that nice tannin kind of flavor that you'll find in a rosé wine. And that's what we were trying to do, is we were trying to actually emulate rosé wine and kind of make it a nice beer wine hybrid. That's what I think that we pulled it off. And it comes in. We do this in 12. We actually do this in 12-ounce cans right now too. So those will be in right now they're in Total Wine and Whole Foods, but we're hoping to see it grow and see how it goes.
The base beer, it was, what would you say it's most like?
This base beer, it's actually it's an ale. It's actually, this has a kind of unique fermentation process because anytime you use a lot of juice in your beers, you run the risk of running through a lot of diacetyl problems. So what we do is we actually brew it on ale. So it's a strict kind of, it's almost like if you brewed a Pilsner on ale yeast first, and then we actually move it into our secondary tanks with another pitch of lager yeast, because lager yeast has a very unique ability to reattack diacetyl compounds and reabsorb them. Well, no, they don't really reabsorb them. They just kind of eat them back up, and they will reabsorb them, and it kind of cleans the beer up, and it keeps it more stable on the shelf.
You guys have a filter? You guys run it through a filter?
We also run it through a filter. That's the final step. So yeah, the filter's after the lager yeast pitch, and we do filter it clear. We have the idea of it is a compact plate and frame filter, but really it's just it's a lot of paper just really pushed together in a disc form instead. And so we use that to kind of clear up our Pilsners, the Havana Lager, and then this beer too.
Cool.
What's the ABV on this?
This is 6.2% ABV. kind of like a nice and dry though too. So that because the RDF on this, which is like the combination of how much sugar you started with, how much sugar you ended with, that is at 72, which is very high for most beers.
No, you definitely nailed this hybrid.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Like I really like the grape, like that tart grape.
Yeah, that
flavor
tannin. It's
comes
like
with
the
it.
tannin kind of tartness to it. Yeah, and we kind of keep it low pH to make sure that we can get that kind of nice tart from it too.
Yeah, so it does it does taste like a wine, but it still has the mouthfeel and like carbonation of a beer. Like,
Yeah, we actually carbonate this. We actually kind of went the other way from Mosaic on this. We actually carbonate it a little bit higher than our beers to make sure that you can kind of get that crisp kind of taste, kind of flavor from it.
I heard a rumor you guys have Havana Lager on nitro.
We do. So we just installed this kind of awesome. Like it's really awesome. It doesn't really make sense on paper, but it's a really awesome little machine. We just put it in our cooler. It allows us to keg beer flat. And what it does is it's a combination of membrane filters, and we push nitrogen through it at extremely high pressure. And what that does is it creates a beer that as you pull it through a tap line, it nitrogenates it. So right now we really didn't do much to it. We just turned it into a nitrogenated Havana. We just have to make sure it's the right low carbonation when we do it. So sometimes beer will always naturally pick up carbonation as it moves through its processes. So we just have to make sure that it's not doing that much, and then if we need to, we can bubble it out. But so far, it's been working out great, and so we're hoping to do it with. Theoretically, we can do this with any beer, and we're hoping to do it with some of our specialty beers as we rack them off and have something new on nitro kind of every week.
Perhaps some of the things that we have in barrels here.
Yes, that's the idea. We want to use beers. We want to kind of keep it for the first kind of rollout of this is keep it to beers that will benefit from nitrogenation, and then we'll kind of move to the beers that are like, what if? What if we put this on nitro? What will that taste like? Like, what if we put, a sour on nitro and see what that does?
Oh,
Sounds good.
I am intrigued.
Yeah. Because that's kind of like what we like to do here. Like, people know us in South Florida for our Havana and our Stillsville and then Tangerica, which it will be replaced by the beer that is next, but we'll get to that. But that's what people probably have the most about it. But at our tap room, we actually have, right now, we have 18 beers on tap, plus the Havana Nitro. And so it's really a great way to kind of see, like, this is where we kind of, like, had to flex our brewing ideas and brewing kind of creativity and try. A lot of these beers have influenced the beers that we have created for the market and everything like that. And we also get to send a few to our distributor. They don't like to do too much because it kind of overloads the sales side. We want to keep everything kind of linear, but we still get to send our. We just did Miami Gras in February. We just did Hasta Luego, which is a Belgian triple, a couple months ago, and we're going to be doing Bouvelet, which is our Belgian beer de garde. Our French beer de garde with Belgian yeast, and so we get to kind of really make some unique, crazy beers here, and kind of keep a very varied tap list, and allows people that maybe even don't like beer, they can come in and have something that they do like.
Nice. Yeah, I hadn't been here in a while, and I think when I was here last time, there were maybe only like 6 or so Concrete Beach beers on.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we were.
Support, Tony.
Yeah, I know.
We were going through it during that time. We were going through kind of like a growing a little bit pain where we were like, oh no, like it was a great problem to have where people loved the beer and were buying it, but we hadn't really prepared for it, and we were like, oh crap, we can only make 1 or 2 of these beers at a time to keep the production going. Now we're planning smarter. We're being more creative with our tank space, and we're creating better beers for it.
Yeah, and more variety. Which
is
So if you haven't been to Concrete Beach in a while,
I'll give it a shot again.
They've got a lot of stuff.
yeah. There's how many beers are on tap right now?
18 beers on tap. Right?
Plus Havana
on Nitro. Nice. Yes. So very technically 18 and a half, I guess.
Cool. Yeah. And could you tell us about the brewery itself, like the operation? How big is the brew house?
Yeah. Oh, so we have a 20-barrel brew house that's behind you guys, but no one can see it. But it's 20-barrel brew house, and we can do 3 turns a day right now because we have 60-barrel fermenters. But we also have smaller fermenters. We have 20-barrel and 40-barrel fermenters. And what we like to do is use those for our smaller specialty brews. The big beers go into the popular beers go into the big tanks. But what you don't see is we also have 2 other lagering tanks behind these 2 lagering tanks. And those that's what helped us create rosé, because we will put in the lagering tank more lager yeast, and that's what helps create those kind of beers. We've just started a barrel aging program. We just put a Doppelbock into rum barrels. That's going to be out in September. We just put a black saison into tequila barrels, and that's called saison. Actually, it does have a name. I was mistaken earlier. It's called Saison Reposado, and that is going to be and we're going to can it. But we're also going to put a limited amount on draft too, and that will probably be available in October.
That sounds very intriguing.
Mm-hmm. And we also, our kind of our biggest thing is that we have our own canning line. So the beers that we have, every beer that you drink in Florida is what is in here. We do from grain to can to keg here. And so the cooler is every beer that we have that's not in our distributor is in that cooler right there. And so we can everything here. We can switch it between 12 and 16 ounces. And we can kind of play around, and we also just got a big upgrade to the canning line, so we can do specialty beers. We have an in-house labeler now, so we can label blank cans and do small runs of specialty things, and we can sell them at the tap room, which we just did with Concretecon, which was a blood orange saison, and we sold that to the Comic-Con up in Broward. Yep. And that way we sent 50 cases. They sold them out in like the first day.
That's awesome.
And so that, it's been a great kind of way to get our creative brews out to people in a more kind of direct way, instead of saying, well, you got to buy a keg now. So now we can go, well, here, take a 6-pack home instead.
What would you put the capacity at overall?
The capacity overall, I mean, we haven't hit it yet, but we could probably do eventually around 12,000 barrels a year here.
Cool. Very cool.
Damn.
But and also we have room to grow. Like you can see, there's a lot of space in the brewery itself, so we have room for more tanks if we need to get there.
And beautiful, huge painted glass windows here in the social hall that you see in and out.
Yeah, sometimes we kind of feel like monkeys in a cage a little bit, but it's very nice to kind of feel the connection to the customers, like so they can see right into the brew house. Right, we're open at noon every day, so they can. If we're canning through noon. We're canning through until the afternoon, so they can see us canning. They can see us brewing through the other window. The other window is blocked by serving tanks, but this window kind of gives them a view into like what's going on behind the scenes.
At least your cage is air conditioned.
Right. Yes. Yeah. We are lucky. We do have air conditioning back here.
There's no throwing of fecal matter.
No.
Okay. JJ, you got a topic?
Indeed, I do. I'm going to carry on from last week. I started off with the Jeju, North Korean, South Korean sex theme park. So, as I teased, there was a couple other really wild and wacky theme parks out there. There's one, it is a Russian interrogation. It's called Survival Drama. And so you pay to be interrogated by professionally trained interrogators to see what the process
Juan's
is.
Missing out.
See if you'll break.
Yeah,
Wow.
Disney really needs to add this. And, and it goes through the whole spiel of, like all the process of, what they do to interrogate to get information and what they do.
Coat hangers up your ass. And
Waterboarding.
Yeah, there is waterboarding.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
there's a waterboarding experience. Is
Yes.
it extra? Is it extra?
No, it's part of the experience. And so they give you code phrases in the beginning of
Safe
the park.
words.
Well, they give you a safe word too. And the idea is to see how you would feel, because people, see certain movies be like, I wouldn't crack under the pressure or whatever. I can be tortured. Well, let's put it to a test.
Fingernails torn off.
So
I was wondering, like, if you were getting waterboarded, wouldn't you just try and hold your breath?
I mean, it's a long time.
yeah.
It's like you can't, because you panic, and the minute that you like suck a little bit in, the rag covers
Exactly.
your mouth.
But if you got it
the
before
point
that,
minute,
is that it's the wet rag.
if you get it before the wet rag,
What do you mean?
Oh,
you take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're ready to breathe again, that rag is going to be wet and it's going to obstruct your breathing.
But
You're
if you
gonna
know
breathe
it's
again.
coming, I mean,
You're just going to try and hold your breath during the pour.
There's more water than there's breath than your breath.
well, I
yeah.
mean, to a certain extent.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't, it kind of shows that people have their mouth open at the beginning, and
I would try to just drink the water. I'd chug it. I'd try to chug the 5-gallon bucket they're pouring over my head.
True. I think you could do it.
See if I could, take it as a personal challenge.
All right. Well, let's see how you handle these other parks. I got a couple other ones here for you. Well, this is just a real quick one because I thought it was kind of odd. So in Argentina, they have a theme park, theme for Jesus, and every 25 minutes. They have. Oh, I'm sorry, 45 minutes.
Because 25 would be too
Yeah,
often.
I know. So they have a giant 80-foot Jesus Christ that resurrects every 45 minutes. So he is resurrected again.
Why don't they do it every 3 days? That seems like that would be the.
Well,
the,
you know, they got.
And then they can charge
That's how
a
you
3
get.
day.
Yeah, that's a 3 day
3 day
pass.
pass.
You know, these guys need marketers. You know?
Yeah, so you know, it's fully animatronic. It blinks its eyes. It does all kinds of stuff. So my question is, what would happen if it like started malfunctioning? Wouldn't that like freak people out? You know, like it just starts like fucking like twitching or fucking
Jesus.
Shooting
Wouldn't do
laser
that.
beams out of his eyes.
exactly. See, like you know, that might change some people's views on the Lord.
Is that anything like the Holy Land experience in Orlando?
Well, what's that like? Because I know you've been there.
Oh, you've been there for real?
No.
I'm curious.
I've
My
driven-
grandma's gone.
I have
I've
checked
driven-
into it on Facebook.
I've driven by it, and it just looks so weird.
Yeah, I have no
I mean,
interest.
what do? You watch just like Mary ride a donkey? Like a Mary impersonator ride a donkey from end to end? Or
Well, it's
There's-
not just Jesus. There's,
The Three Kings donkey ride? I don't know.
Yeah, right. That's one of the rides.
So
I think there's Sodom and Gomorrah.
Maybe a Noah's Ark ride?
That's where I'd hang out.
Yeah. So if you think that's weird, this one kind of stinks. In England, they have
Good name for a ghost.
a theme park that's themed off of Victorian England, where they try and take you back to the times. And what they do, they infuse chemical smell pots throughout the park, so you get whiffs of mildew and urine and fecal matter as you.
Your favorite.
Yeah, you know, to enjoy your experience of the
To
park.
make it more authentic, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the final one is also from England. It was the human trebuchet. Or
Trebuchet?
trebuchet. Yeah. So the human catapult. Is that the same thing?
Fun. That sounds fun. It's similar. It uses a different firing mechanism, if you will.
Not too familiar with it since it's old school. But anyway, so
What are
you would
talking about?
pay.
You've watched Mythbusters?
They had one on that.
So like a
Oh
catapult.
yeah, they did one with duct tape.
A catapult just uses like tension in the lever, and a trebuchet uses a counterweight.
Counterweight. Yeah, you're right. Okay, fair enough. I forgot.
Subtle difference, but
So, any case, they had a park in England.
Medieval warfare. Heard here on Beer Bros and BS.
Oh, and so at this park, you could pay $70 in U.S. dollars, and it would free flung the guests 75 feet.
oh, bless you.
Salute.
I think.
Tony is sick.
That's why my voice is so sexy this week.
Yeah, exactly. Easy. Anyway, so 75 feet,
Hey,
about
Dan.
60 feet per second. No, 60 feet per second. 60 miles per hour.
Might be the same thing.
Would it?
We're not really mathematicians, so
Somebody
do the math.
tweet us the
If
math.
we're wrong.
and do the math.
So anyway, so the ride
Siri,
did
right?
pretty well. Lots of broken bones and whatnot.
You don't say.
The ride finally closed in 2002 as an Oxford student died. So they had to shut it down. So my question for you is last week about the sex park, if you would visit the sex park. So if you had a chance to ride this, would you pay your $70? Would you take the chance on injury or death?
Man, somebody's got to pay
Yeah,
me.
no.
I would do it, but somebody's got to pay me.
You said yeah, no.
I said, yeah, no. I would not do that.
I say no. Yeah.
You would do it? You get paid?
If I'm not gonna pay to do it, but if
Someone
somebody
give you
would-
$70,
if somebody paid my way, I'd do it. No, pay my way and buy me a meal after. Yeah.
right?
Meal
I mean, because
deal.
you're going to shit your pants and then.
Yeah.
Buy you some new pants.
I will have made room. No, I'd like to celebrate if I survive.
Dave, would you do
I'll
it?
get you a turkey
Nah,
leg.
I'm cool.
No.
I think that shit's fun. You guys never went to like Boomers? I did the
I think there's a
human
big
roller coaster
difference
at
between-
Boomers.
Yeah. No, we've
Well, I
done.
mean, but the trebuchet is launching me into what? Into a field?
No.
Into a castle?
No. The idea would go into like.
You're gonna go fight
Going
the
to
Turks.
orbit.
No, it'd be like.
Maybe the
The
Moors.
Siege of Constantinople.
No. Like if you're
Fight
ever
the
been to the
Moors.
circus,
Reclaim the Holy Land.
The Holy Land experience.
There you go. You get chucked right in there. And then
They shoot you back over the pond. It's your return flight.
It was a net, by the way.
It would be like the.
But people missed the net, or it was just such an impact that
I
they
feel
would
like
break
they
one.
would. I mean, they'd
Run
have
away!
You're gonna need a hefty counterweight. You're gonna come up short on that net.
I'll be your counterweight.
Thanks, Dave.
There he goes.
And that brings us to our third beer of the night.
All right. Well, so this is actually the second beer that we released this month. And so number 3 right here is Sola IPA. And Sola IPA is our new flagship IPA. It's actually going to be replacing Tangerica in the market. So the beer that you guys know, Tangerica is, and we sell it in Publix and Whole Foods and various accounts. We're going to be phasing that out. We're going to be putting Sola in. It just launched this week. We loved Tangerica.
I was going to say why. We like that.
What's
one.
that?
I like that one.
No, it's a great beer. We're still going to try and have it on tap when we can at the bar. But we just we created this beer, and we were like, man, this really is a very popular beer in our tap room. People really like it, and we really wanted to say, we really wanted to go. I think this beer really embodies what people are drinking here a lot more now, and we like, all right, let's go for it. So this beer is a little on the hazy side. It's a partially hazy IPA. Is popular these days. But this is what we did was we were able to make this where it's haze stable. So we could actually recreate the haze over and over again with and keeping the turbidity the same. And also it won't settle out in kegs. So we used a combination of filters and also a new yeast strain that stays in solution out here. And which it was a big deal for us to use a new yeast strain because usually when you use Vermont style ale strains, you cannot reuse them. Because they don't. Right. But we were able to kind of work with this yeast, work with our yeast bank and kind of create a yeast that will be reusable. Because in brewing, it's much more cost efficient and it's extremely more widespread that you reuse your yeast. You reuse your yeast because you want to train your yeast to do what you want it to do. And so this is what was important for us if we wanted to change our yeast. And so we were able to get that here. It uses Galaxy, Mandarina Bavaria, and Citra hops, bittered slightly with Galena hops. And it's a very nice, bright, slightly hazy IPA.
Absolutely fantastic. I love this beer.
I do not think that How to Train Your Yeast would make a good movie.
Right. No, it's very boring. It's like, all right, it's like each lesson takes like 14 days, and you're like, oh, man, yeah. But yeah, we of course, we ran into some setbacks, of course, whenever you're trying to use a new yeast, and you're not really sure how it's going to act with what you're putting it into. And we even have a different supplier for this yeast, too. So it was a big change for us. And so, but we got it, we worked on it. It was a big, it was a kind of a big undertaking, but it's here now, and it's working really well.
Yeah, wonderful hop bouquet. Excellent choice.
Yeah, to me this
nice and refreshing.
Yeah, to me this really brings out Miami in this beer. Like I feel like this is going to, what's the juice place that I'm trying to think of? Help me out here.
Palacio de los Jugos.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Like if you could make anything from there into beer form. Oh yeah, for everyone else that's not in Miami, all of our listeners around the world. Yeah, so juice place, but combined with a really awesome fucking IPA. This is really fantastic.
Yep. And this one comes in at 6.8%.
Yeah, it's very clean, a nice hop bite. Good stuff.
Tony, so where the fuck have you been?
I have been on another one of my travels.
Slipping in the Beer Bros rankings, bro. Slipping in those power rankings.
For real.
And you're moving up, by the way.
I know.
No stickers. No stickers for Tony.
This power ranking thing is motivating the fuck out of me.
That's true. Yeah, you haven't missed in a while.
You're voting for Dan, huh?
I've been on top of. Oh no, I already passed them.
Percentage-wise, but I think you want to be just number-wise.
Just in absolute terms.
Shall we spin the wheel of Dan?
And Dan is?
He's sick.
Sick this time.
Quote unquote. That's sick. Oh, he's always sick, huh? He's a sick-minded
sick bastard.
God bless him. No, but whenever he misses, it shakes me to the core a little bit. Bits, like some bits, just bits of you.
Those core bits?
Yeah, those core bits. Too bad he'll never hear this because he doesn't fucking listen.
Very nice, very nice.
And he's listening. He's going to listen to this one and just cry at home. He's like, I was sick, guys.
I'm number 2. I'm number 2 on Beer Bros.
Not anymore, buddy.
Never.
It's getting serious out here.
It's getting. I know. Right?
You better show up next time.
The smackdown the gauntlet has been thrown.
Hey, Tony making up some ground against Jose. Jose had was getting you beat there while you were on your travels. But welcome back, sir.
I know.
So where'd you go?
Fucking hell, man.
Share.
So this was the big summer trip of the year. First we went to Milan because that was the one major place in Italy that I had not been.
Highlights of Milan.
Highlights of Milan. The Duomo in Milan is really cool, and it's like the one cathedral that I know of that you can actually go and walk on the roof of.
Cool.
So it's kind of cool. You like get to go and like walk
Without
up.
being a hunchback.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you could be if you want, or if you are, and you're welcome to. Yeah, you get to go, walk around among all the Gothic spires, take in the views of the city. It's pretty cool.
Spectacular.
It's also home to Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper.
Oh, very cool.
Very large.
Did you put should have got you a Beer Bros BS sticker before you left to slap right
there on there. Right there on Jesus.
Judas.
Judas isn't there. He's too busy. Is he there?
Yeah.
He's there?
Yeah, he was at the Last Supper, man.
Where was he seated?
Well, in the painting, he's like a couple away from Jesus, but you can kind of.
He looks a little. Looks a little uncomfortable.
Well, it
Looks a little uncomfortable.
like in the painting, everyone is kind of like in shock or they're like wondering what's going on, but Judas is kind of like unfazed and he's holding his little bag of silver.
Oh, son of a gun.
But that's really cool. They, so it's painted on the wall of like a monastery there.
It's a fresco, no?
So the story is like, it's not a traditional fresco because if it was just a plain fresco, then, it would last forever.
Because it would have been painted into wet plaster.
Right. This, was like some experimental technique that Leonardo used where it started deteriorating after time. So it's had to be restored a bunch over the centuries. And now what they do is like, they put you in a dehumidifying chamber for like 15 minutes before you can go in and have your 15 minutes to look at it. So you have to get reservations like months in advance to get a time to see it. And it's like groups of, I think, 25 get to see it for 15 minutes and then that's it. Wow. But it is like, a really cool thing to get to see in person.
Where'd you go next?
After that, we flew to Budapest, which is an awesome fucking city. It's like probably one of my favorite cities in Europe that I've been to.
Budapest?
Yes. It's beautiful. Food is amazing in Budapest.
You don't say.
You had that crazy cheese thing.
Yeah, I had a bunch of cool things. So my new favorite thing is stuffed cabbage. Yeah, it's like, basically like meat and cheese and rice rolled up in cabbage leaves and then like with like this kind of gravy sauce and sour cream and paprika.
Why do we need that cabbage leaf? Like, what is it there for? Everything sounds great.
Cabbage is great.
Yeah, I think it just holds it together.
Yeah, so it's like a little taquito.
Basically.
Yeah, it's like against stuffed peppers, but
It's like an enchilada, like a Budapest enchilada.
Yeah, but delicious.
You don't like enchiladas, bro? There's a whole lot of enchiladas.
I do like enchiladas, but I think I even like stuffed peppers, Hungarian style, even more. Like I was just addicted to these things. Also, the other cool thing that they have is called langos, which is sort of like a pizza dough or like a bread dough that's fried. And then they just put like traditional style langos is just like with garlic oil, sour cream, and cheese.
and they put a shitload of
like,
cheese.
Like a shitload of cheese on it. And it's, that's kind of like just the street food there.
What kind of cheese? Is it
I think it's Edammer cheese. And, you can just chow down on that. You'll be good.
I'm gonna make that here.
And the other great thing about Budapest and all of Eastern Europe is that things are incredibly cheap there.
including the sex?
I wouldn't know. But like we went to a few craft beer bars in Budapest, and craft beer is like the equivalent of like $3.50.
So that's actually what? That's like €2, €2.50 is what it was costing.
Something
slightly
like that.
more.
Like, yeah, they don't use euro; they use forint.
Whoa, they're not part of the Schengen agreement?
They are, but they don't use the euro.
Interesting.
So really liked Budapest. I would recommend it to anyone wanting to travel to Europe. Then we took a river cruise. We went to Pécs, Hungary. Oh wait, I forgot one thing. Before we got on the river cruise, we took a day trip to Bratislava in Slovakia, which is another really nice place. Just like a really cool vibe there. Really like compact old center that you can walk around. It's just like a really pretty town to visit, and just everyone is like cool and friendly. So then on the river cruise, we went to Pécs, Hungary. Saw the churches there and like these underground tombs that are there. We went to Belgrade, Serbia. Got to see like the fortress there and walk around the old town of Belgrade. Belgrade is also really cheap, and we found out that like people like to party there into all hours of the night, and there's like nightclubs, floating nightclubs on the Danube River.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
Sign me up. That you can go to. That woke us up in the morning, which was pretty funny. Then we went to Bulgaria.
Land of the Bulgars.
Rusev Machka!
Yes, we celebrated Rusev Day in Bulgaria.
Is that in honor of the porn star Tanya Rusev? Or?
No, it's a pro wrestler.
Oh, I see.
It's a current thing in wrestling.
Yeah. Went to, I forgot another thing. We went to an archaeological site in Serbia called Lepenski Vir, which is like evidence of human settlements on the Danube that goes between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago.
Yeah, take that, history.
Yeah, and they're using that to study like mankind between I believe it's Mesolithic and Neolithic. So between like when people like were moving around a lot, being nomadic, versus when they like settled in one spot. And there's like archaeological studies being done there, which is really cool. In Bulgaria, we went to Belogradchik, which has some cool rock formations, and like a fortress built into the rocks that we went and climbed up and saw. And we went to the old capital of Bulgaria, which is called Veliko Tarnovo, which is like another city that's kind of like surrounded by hills. It's like a nice little cool place to walk around. And there's a fortress there as well. Then we ended up in Romania. We got off in Oltenița and went to Bucharest. Got to spend a day in Bucharest. Got to see the kind of like the broad Bucharest is like really. It said it's like similar to Paris. They call it the Paris of the East. It's a bit of a step between, but you can see what they mean. Like they have an Arc de Triomphe there in Romania. They have like wide boulevards and
what is it?
Sort of similar architecture.
Is it Kansas City that's the Paris of the West?
Maybe. And finally, we went to Transylvania.
Dracula.
Yes, we went to two castles in Transylvania. One is called Pelis Castle, which was a really pretty castle. It was like a former hunting ground of like Romanian kings, and it was really, really nice. And then we went to Bran Castle, which is like the quote-unquote Dracula castle.
Home of Vlad the Impaler?
So actually, no, it was not ever home to Vlad the Impaler.
Interesting.
But they just kind of like, for tourism purposes, market it as the Dracula castle because in the book Dracula, the castle is described as being sort of in that location.
Interesting.
Yeah. The castle itself is not really very remarkable, honestly. But like in front of it, there's like a whole shopping street where just people are selling Dracula crap.
Do they have Wi-Fi?
It's pretty funny.
It's a bat.
And unfortunately, after all of this, I left my camera in Romania.
Fuck.
Damn. Did you upload any pictures or no?
No, I did not.
Damn.
But fortunately, Dinette took a bunch of pictures too, so all was not lost. But
Did they find your other pictures on the camera?
It's gonna be like the Griswold vacation. It's pictures of
We're gonna find
people in the shower.
Tony on the fap thing.
Get me on a billboard, dude.
if you find any revealing pictures online of
Tag
me,
them at Craft Beer Gooner.
and tweet us.
At Beer Bros BS.
Send them,
email them to us.
send them to nudes at Beer Bros BS.
We'll retweet them.
So it's good to be back. Good to be back at the brewery series.
Awesome. I hope it was a lot more fun traveling than it was hearing you talk about it.
Yeah. And go fuck yourself.
So that brings us to our fourth beer of the night.
Yeah. Also, the fourth beer of the night is actually a beer just that's only available at the brewery. This is it's called Mango Beach Goza, and so this is kind of modeled after a Colombian snack called Mango Beach. We use so instead it uses mangoes, but it's not actually ripe mangoes. We use green mangoes in this one, which are more tart and sour. We use that with a combination of lime juice and salt, and that's a popular street snack in Colombia. So we use this and created a goza from it. And so this is kind of like a nice kind of way to kind of think a good introduction of like the things that we are able to do here with our innovation side. You know, this is only available here. We were actually donated the mangoes from the Fairchild Garden down in Homestead.
They recently had their mango festival.
And that's where we were. Oh, we were there
cool.
too. And we're at another mango festival next month with this beer. But yeah, so they gave us a lot of green mangoes. We were right here at this table, just peeling and juicing mangoes, and that took about a day. And so it's one of those things where you can't replicate it a lot, but it's something that we can kind of like create and learn from, and say, well, this worked with this, and now we can use it for the future beers.
Yeah,
It's delicious.
I do really like it. Nice and tart.
And it's
Tart and
kettle
salty.
sour, so we kettle sour this.
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love the saltiness.
Very nice.
I want to ask you guys real quick, since you brought up settlements along the Danube. What do you guys really think about human history? Like, you guys think?
I'm in favor of it.
But you're pro human
I believe it.
history.
I believe it happened.
The current timeline. What do you think of it? Are you guys familiar with Göbekli Tepe?
No, what is that?
It is a stone structure out in, I believe, Anatolia, what is today Turkey. It's a massive stone structure dating back to about 8,000 years ago, so 6,000 BC. So it predates a lot of the other megalithic structures out there. Just kind of fucks up the timeline. Like, people shouldn't have been doing that at that time, and yet there's evidence that they were.
Yeah, I think I did actually. When you mentioned that, like I didn't know the name, but now I know what you're talking about.
Yep.
And it is cool. It just shows that like we don't know everything, right? And
Right. I think there's been a few events that have sort of set us back, and a lot of them have actually been recorded. For instance, the fall of the Roman Empire is perhaps the most recent calamity that sort of brought about a step back in technology. And a lot of the technology that the Romans used is apparent in the Mycenaean civilization, which also inhabited the Mediterranean.
Or Etruscans.
Etruscans preceded them on the peninsula. However,
But they took it from a lot of stuff from them as well.
culturally speaking, but engineering wise, we didn't see the Romans had indoor plumbing, and we didn't see indoor plumbing in anybody else except the Mycenaeans, as far as we know, a few thousand years before them. I mean, just to put things in perspective, when Julius Caesar got to Egypt, the pyramids were already, they were thousands of years old. They were already ancient. And then there's also, there's evidence of antediluvian settlements. So like settlements along what was previously land, but went underwater with the last flood. I don't know. I think it deserves some thought. I think that our history is sort of obscured. I think there's been plenty of mass catastrophe events that we've sort of bounced back from.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you got a topic?
Yeah, you could call, well, actually, no, yeah. So I'm going to start doing this thing where I'm going to do like little movie reviews every episode, because shout out to MoviePass. This segment is brought to you by me because I pay for that shit. But as soon as they pay for it, it'll be brought to you by MoviePass. Shout out to MoviePass, fucking $9.95 a month. You can see a movie every day. A bunch of the theaters here in Miami participate in it. I've already seen like 6 or 7 movies.
Get on my level. 18.
18, yeah, but how long have you had it?
2 months.
Yeah, I'm not even done with the first billing period yet. So
Oh, you can cancel it.
the race is on. The race is on. Also, hit me up if you need a referral. I can refer 3 people for free.
Hey,
We're just going to cut this part out.
at King Alapata.
I'll give you. Just say your code right now.
I don't remember my code. I don't know. Just hit me up. Hit me
I'll
up.
input mine.
Hit up the King of Alpata, and I'll give you my code and Dave's code. That's 6 people. 6 people we can hook up. You can go to the movies with Beer Bros and BS. So recently I saw the movie Hereditary. Hereditary is an awesome horror movie, sort of in the vein of The Exorcist or Rosemary's Baby. It's a deep psychological thriller with a slow build-up. you really question some things that you see, and you're just not sure if you really saw them or not, or if maybe you're the one who's going crazy, which makes for an awesome fucking movie, the likes of which I haven't seen since probably maybe The Conjuring or maybe the first
Like
Paranormal
psychological?
Activity or Insidious. It's
Because when you say that, I think of Jacob's Ladder. Yeah,
I haven't seen that movie.
Oh, you haven't seen? Oh, because he has PTSD.
Because it's not on MoviePass. That's why.
No,
Well, I'm just saying, like that's a genre that's not, it doesn't have a bunch of films. So anyway, continue.
No, it's a good movie. Highly recommend it. There's not a lot of really good horror movies. This isn't a sort of action thriller horror, sort of like maybe The Purge, which I also saw, which has plenty of violence. So if you like that, it's good. But the story sucks and the acting sucks. But yeah, Hereditary is probably the best movie I've seen recently.
Oh shit, nice.
Cool.
And there's reviews by Reyes.
And this segment was brought to you by MoviePass.
No,
Pay for my fucking movie pass.
MoviePass. Pay for the King of Alabadas. MoviePass.
Or if maybe we start a Patreon and then we can just...
Oh, I really got into that. I'm trying to think of like what would be the monster thing for us.
Yeah, do a big tier like, hey, if you donate $100, we'll do private movie viewings with Alex.
you can hear my commentary all through the movie.
Like I would.
Side Theater, the new season featuring Alex Reyes.
yeah, Alex will talk to you the entire time while you're trying to watch the movie.
all for $50.
We'll give you a sticker.
You have to buy my movie ticket. No, psych. Movie passes got me, right?
So I just got a quick little thing. So talking about Eastern Europe. So according to the Telegraph out of London, they have.
Oh, I thought you got a telegraph. That sounded like.
You're like, how did you get that?
Got.
Like,
That's
where?
what I don't know. I was like,
They still have him in London.
So evidently, to follow suit in London, who ended up giving out in 2016 because of their trains were sauna like. London decided to give out water to all the people that are stuck in the tubes. Vienna, on the other hand, decided that they were going to give out deodorant spray to their customers because of the heat and what precedes that. They ended up giving out 14,000 deodorant sprays in a single day, and we're out in Vienna.
it's like a countrywide axe bomb.
Yeah, I mean, how many people fucking ride the metro there in a day?
I'm sorry.
Grajo, as they say down here.
It was the stuffy U6 line, so evidently it was only just one of their lines, and they gave out 14,000 sprays in one day.
Yeah, but I mean,
So are you hoping to go to Vienna next, Tony?
I still have not been there, so maybe I'll go in the fall or the winter time.
Yeah, less heat.
I hear it's good around Christmas time.
Yeah,
I heard they have a beautiful concert hall opera house thingamajig, right?
yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Those are cool.
So let me ask you guys, what burns your bacon? Tony.
What burns my bacon is when people say sneak peek, but it's PEAK.
Well, you didn't see that peak, did you? It's a sneaky one.
It's a sneaky mountain. Should be PEEK.
So you're just going to be a grammar Nazi about that?
Yes.
All right then.
Okay. JJ.
All right. Go off a couple of weeks ago when I was upset about comic book men being canceled.
They brought it back?
Not yet. They're working on it. But
He's actually got a new show coming out called Weedman.
I saw that.
Donnell Rawlings, who's fucking hilarious.
Really? He's on it?
Donnell
Yeah.
Rollins
That guy
is
is,
fucking
yeah.
funny as
He
fuck.
was
I've
one
seen
of
him.
my favorite
Hot
stand-up.
Time Machine,
Yeah.
huh?
I went with you, Sam. Yeah. He's
Right?
great.
That's him. He's Craig.
Right?
Craig 2.0. Oh, I'm thinking Craig Robinson.
No, you're
No, that's Craig Robinson. Yeah.
Donnell Rawlings
That's great.
Wasn't he
is,
Ashley Larry
Ashley Larry.
Yeah.
from Chappelle
Anyway.
Show?
Yep. Chappelle Show. So for me,
Chappelle Show.
this week it's going to be a fuck you to Stars
Chappelle Show.
Network for canceling my
Chappelle
homeboy Bruce Campbell's show.
Black Sails.
Fucking Evil Dead is no more.
Black Sails ended a year ago.
I don't have Stars Network.
Yeah,
I guess
so-
it shows.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't watch Power either, even though I would like to.
It was meh.
Stars, sponsor us. Sponsor us. Let me get that subscription.
Add the Beer Bros, and I think the revenue will go up.
Dennet really likes Outlander.
And you can use promo code Concrete Beach.
There we go.
Should work. And so yeah, I felt that Ash vs. Evil Dead was one of the best dark comedies in probably the past 10 years or so.
You and every other prepubescent man-child.
Thank you. All of us hipsters. But yeah, I thought it was a perfect balance of blood and guts, dirty humor, shit that crosses the line a bunch, and something for even the cult fans that love all the films, such as I do.
Was it always
wearing
on
the shirt.
Stars?
Yeah,
It was always on Stars.
Yeah, it was always on Stars. So
Never saw a single episode.
it's really good. No, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's a fun show, even if you haven't seen the original films. If you
Never
haven't
saw
seen
those either.
Evil Dead or Army of Darkness, you can hop right in. It's a lot of fun. They did 3 seasons. It's a lot of fun. So fuck you, Stars. That burns my bacon.
What about you, Eric? What brings your bacon?
People who drive with their brights on in the city.
Oh,
That infuriates
we
me.
haven't mentioned that one.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
new.
Yeah, that one, especially when they're on the opposite side of the road and you're in a city that has street lights. It's like
Yep. I feel
It happens with me and they'll flash you. Like they think
they
you
think
have
you
brights
have
on.
the brights on. Yeah. It's like, no, man, this is my car. Like,
And then
You want to see? You want to see brights?
what I have? Yeah.
They are.
And then it's like a whole Brights arms race.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes they'll turn it right off. They're like, oh, my apologies.
My bad.
Sometimes they'll start flashing even more.
Well, you're the king of flashing, so.
Would you, Alex? What burns your bacon?
What burns my bacon this week is people who always say, we have to work on our communication. No, motherfucker. I know exactly what the fuck I said. You need to listen better. All right? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, get your shit together. Trying to fucking blame it on communication just because you don't fucking listen. Write shit down. Fucking write shit down if you need to.
Comprehension.
Text it to yourself.
is the
I don't give a
secret
fuck.
word. Woo! 2 weeks in a row. Reyes is fired up. I like it.
Work on our communication.
Is this a lady friend?
Sounds very specific.
I mean, no, it's not a friend at all. If
Oh, okay.
it was a friend, we wouldn't have any trouble communicating. Anyway, work on our communication.
And what burns my bacon is when people don't show up when they're supposed to.
The Wheel of Dan. Spin it again.
Does Jose get a pass? Are we just we're gonna give Jose a pass? We're not gonna.
Yeah, he had to
rank on
do
him
his
at all?
finals. He's busting his ass.
Oh, okay, yeah, because school's fucking paid off for everybody, right? Could have been at a podcast.
Yeah, I mean,
he
we're
could have been at Miami's most decorated beer podcast.
Florida's #1 beer podcast.
So let me ask you guys, what was your favorite beer of the night?
I'm going to go with
No pressure.
I like that mango bitch.
the mango. Was very good. I'm going to go
Mango
to
beach.
Sola. That was my highlight.
I don't know. It's between the mango and the rosé for me.
I think the rosé for me. So I love that one. Got that one at American Social for brunch.
Yeah. Oh no, you went. Oh, okay.
It's
yeah.
it's perfect brunch beer, I think.
I want to cook with that beer, by the way. Cook some pork in that shit
Yeah.
while drinking it at the same time.
So don't forget, please follow us on Facebook.com/BeerBrosBS. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BeerBrosBS. Go to Untappd to find out where we rank all these beers. Email us any of our jokes, concerns, ideas to beerbrosbs@gmail.com. If you want to send any nudes,
Or any of Tony's nudes.
to where?
Nudes at beerbrosbs.com.
Please, you can always find everything on our website. Make sure to subscribe to the show on SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, Blubbery, Overcast, Kodi, uBook, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Microsoft Podcast App, Digital Podcast, Listen Notes, Podbean, Podcast Blaster, Radio Public, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and now we're on Spotify too.
Spotify.
Spotify. Okay,
So-
so now that covers everything. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can just subscribe there. We don't need to list them every time.
There's a couple places we're not on.
All right.
They want us to pay for that.
Right.
That's what I say for that.
Uh,
So before we go, do you have anything you want to plug? What's coming up here in the
Any
brewery?
future events?
Well, we have our weekly events, but our biggest event at the brewery is that we have our Havana nights at the first Friday of every month. That's something where we bring in some Havana style bands. The band that we usually bring in is called Havana Nights too, so it's kind of a nice thing.
Is the singer Caesar?
I don't know his name actually.
Okay.
No. I think he loves his jazz. He loves his Cuban jazz music, and he's really good. But yeah, they know how to kind of bring the crowd up. We have dancing, cigar rolling. That's kind of our premier event. It will be the first weekend of August. First Friday of August. So yeah, that'll be great.
And we can find everything else.
Everything else we do is at Concrete Beach FL, and that's on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You'll find us there.
You guys do anything? You guys still do that Brew House Rock thing?
We do Brew House Rock. That's
Cool.
once a month, first Monday of every month, and that's when one of our brewers will teach a class on something about brewing for people who don't really know much about brewing. This is the last one we did, Beers of Europe. We've done the history of malting. We've done homebrew class even one night.
Yeah, I've sat in on a few of those. Very informative.
Monday nights at 7 is when they start. Not every Monday, once a month.
Do you have to sign up? Is there a special place?
There is an Eventbrite for it, and it's $5, but you get a pint of beer. So you're paying for we just want to make sure, we just want to know you're coming, pretty much. That way we can kind of gauge how much stuff to prepare.
Yeah. And real quick, this is a great tap room. This is
thank you.
Aesthetically, one of my favorite tap rooms. So
we wanted to kind of create like an atmosphere where people would feel connected and could, because that's breweries are it's a kind of a cliche line, but breweries are a lot like a community area. So we wanted it to kind of represent that. It's not just a bar, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So again, thanks for having us here.
Thanks for having me on the show. Guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I'm Dave, the Big Librarian.
Is Alex the King of Alapado?
This is Tony.
JJ, the Metal Chef.
And Eric Hernandez.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. Good night. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Beer Bros and BS. Cheers.
Beer Bros.
Beer Bros.
Beer Bros.
And BS.
Yes.